Hey people, how we doing? My name is Josh Gillett. I am from Cambridge, UK, and I just want to send out a message to the world about one important thing that needs to be known that I am working on at the moment, and that if you haven't already known from the title of this video, I'm talking about the importance of having a balance between your creative brain and your logical brain. So your logical brain is the brain that rationalizes this third dimensional world, this physical world, this materialistic world that we all have to participate in. Unfortunately, if some of you guys don't like it, you might as well become a monk. But other than that, it is the left side of your brain which deals with algorithmic thinking, logical thinking, making rational decisions based on your safety, your money, everything that relates to basically keeping organization and, for example, say doing chores in your house, which procrastination can get in the way of your left side of the brain, but also your right side. However, for me personally, I've had to work on a lot of my logical side of the brain. And in terms of spirituality, I think one problem that we seem to be facing, or that a lot of people seem to be facing without even subconsciously or consciously being aware of, is that a lot of people have tried to, as soon as they go on the spiritual path, they seem to try and escape a lot of these physical concerns that they have in the materialistic world, such as escaping, any sort of attachment to money or any sort of care about it or any sort of logical thinking, and purely focusing inward without really rationalizing the outside world. And a lot of people seem to make decisions about sacrificing a lot of relationships or friendships, or say, I don't know, things that kind of add convenience to their life, but in a sort of way that's necessary to purely focus on a spiritual path. And the creative side of your brain is purely the spiritual side of you, the higher side of you, whereas the logical side is the lower side, which handles money and safety, access to food and water, your clothes, your rent, whatever that may be, really. And it's important to know that, from my own personal experience, that the logical side, the lower self that you have, which is what I refer it to, your lower chakras, are definitely a way to, it needs to be controlled instead of escaping. And that's how you become what the Hermetics call the half-wise people. The half-wise people who seem to detach themselves from the physical world completely and purely try and escape to the astral realm, in terms of forgetting about their own emotions, forgetting about their deep traumas, forgetting about their control over their finances or their relationships or their environment, their physical environment. And yeah, I know a lot of people like this, and it's not a nice thing to see, because the problem with that is that you can escape this physical realm and the concerns and the control, and you can lose control to the point of where you think you've become so high that when one thing happens in the lower realm, it can knock you off balance completely, and you can fall lower than you've ever felt. And it'll take a lot longer than you think to rebuild yourself in every single way. So it's important to get the foundation solid of your financial control, your access to food and water, your environment, organization, and logical thinking, and then slowly focus on your ascension upward to the heavenly realms, to the planetary energies, serving these guardians that are guiding us through this third dimension, because the planets are our real teachers. That's who they are. This is what I believe. This is, all the planets, all the star constellations, the whole universe is our divine teacher. However, it doesn't mean that we should be forgetting about our own physical bodies just to focus purely on chasing the stars, because it takes a balance between the two, and focusing on controlling the lower realms and serving the higher realms, because you can't serve the higher realms. These are infinite. If you're a human being who has a soul, because all human beings have souls, everything has a soul, it's all one soul split apart into infinite numbers of expressions of different unique souls. So your individual soul is not as powerful as the planetary souls. So the planetary souls are your guardian angels. They're your teachers. They are your guides. So your logical side and your creative side must be a 50-50 balance, because the half-wise people have probably almost the biggest egos, even compared to those of the lower realms who are completely asleep, simply because they are judging everything around them. They want to escape everything around them. And this is what happens to a lot of people, including myself, who first went through a spiritual awakening and realized that I just wanted to be a monk. I didn't like anyone around me. I judged everyone for what they was doing, even though it wasn't their fault. They don't have any conscious awareness of the real impact of the lifestyle that they're living. And you just got to learn how to not judge it. You got to say to yourself that you're not the universe. You have the universe within you, and you have the potential to reach to infinite levels of consciousness and become submerged with the all of the infinite universe. But right at this minute, if you are a human being with a soul, then you're going to have to face the fact that you're just an extension who is slowly working themselves up. And if you're going to say, I'm the universe, I'm everything, that is it, I am God, I can do what I want, then that's probably more ignorant than those who are completely asleep. There's a difference between knowing that you have the universe within you. However, you only have the potential at this minute, and you can't, and it takes time for you to understand this and to reach a higher level of consciousness. And there's a difference between that and those who are not aware of that they are an extension. And the balance between these two sides of the brain will make you realize that you are in this third dimension for a reason. You're in this third dimension not to escape it, it's to take control. It's to take control and to live in synchronicity. and to listen to the universe's messages, because your individual soul, if you are a human being with a soul, then you are not as powerful as the planets. Planetary souls are the most ancient souls, the star souls, everything is a living entity, and we are just at the very beginning. This is what I believe. I believe if you reach a high enough state of frequency, then you may be able to reincarnate into a higher dimensional being, like a spirit guide or a spirit guru or a shaman or something not even non-dense, or a plant, because you've got to realize that the plants, the animals, are far more advanced than human beings. Why? Because human beings have to serve in a much more complicated way than animals and plants and planets. They've already done their time. I don't exactly know how long it takes, but you can tell, because cats, dogs, birds, lions, all animals, fish, animals especially, because they are free to do whatever they want physically. They can go wherever they want. They don't need a home. They don't need to work. They don't need to do anything. They just go out and get food. They fly around. They explore. They're in complete God mode, synchronicity. And the human beings, we have to start off from the very bottom, because we are. Our souls, this is what I believe, our souls are at the very bottom level. So it's important to be not the half-wise one, realizing that you are at the very beginning. Your soul is at the very beginning of its stage of ascension, and you are not like the animals and plants or planets, because they are far more advanced, far more ancient, far more educated spiritually. They've done their time in the matrix and they're just, they're enjoying their achievement. They're enjoying their prize, being free. When you realize how free you are, this human life, however many you have, it's always going to start again in the same way as it did when you ended. It's only your frequency that you carry with you, because your frequency is the element of your soul, and that is it. All right, people, have a great day. Catch you soon.